If I took a screenshot of your Stripe account right now, this is most probably what it's going to look like on a month-to-month basis, right? And then maybe at the end here, you got a little more up, down, inconsistency, whatever, right? So what does this look like? Well, this looks like a roller coaster that was built by a very, very drunk engineer, okay? And that's the reality for most people. But this is not what we want, right? We don't want these heavy inconsistency spikes. We wanna be up here all the time. We wanna be either growing or at least on the same level as what we were maybe a month or two before. Okay, we don't want to see this. We want to be up here. Now, what's the problem with this? Why are we not always up here? Why are we not always growing or at least staying at the same level? Why does this happen? Okay, so I'm gonna tell you. If I were to ask you right now, what did you do on your best month to make it your best month? You probably wouldn't be able to tell me, right? How many conversations did it take for you to book a call? How many leads did you need to get to hit your revenue number that you hit? How many people opted in to your service compared to how many people booked a call? How many people actually showed up? What was your close rate, right? All these things, you might have some of it tracked, but you wouldn't be able to tell me exactly what your inputs were that resulted in the output, which was your best revenue month on paper, right? And this is because you are being reactive, which is not good. You want to be proactive, okay? Because right now you have no cause and effect system in place. You're just like, you're doing whatever you're doing 1 month, and then at the end of the month, you're like, oh, this is what happened. You're looking back at historical data after the fact that it happened, and you're not knowing what to change going forward because you don't know what you did well and what you need to continue doing, and you also don't know what you need to change because you haven't tracked anything, right? So before you even know what to go and fix and what services you might need, do you need help with closing? Do you need help with paid ads? You need to know what's wrong first, because a lot of people go ahead and fix something that might be working, and that is just as detrimental to your growth as anything else, okay? You're literally basically crossing your fingers and hoping that you can replicate what you did the previous month when you do have a good month, okay? But how do we fix this, right? And like I said earlier, but how do we fix this? And as I mentioned earlier, it's a pretty common issue, and if it was that easy to solve it, then no one would have that issue, right? But I'm gonna break it down for you and make the solution very, very simple. So if you look at this right here, the first thing that you need to do, and the first and most important thing, and the cause of all of this, is you don't have any insight. You need to go and gather insight on what you're doing, what's working, what's not working. Just track the inputs that you're doing, right? That's it. That's the first step. It's not very difficult to do. Then once you have insight, you execute on that insight. You take action and make decisions based on the data and information that you've gathered from what you've been tracking, okay? Now, once you've executed on what you've been seeing, you get feedback. Feedback from your own inputs and from your customers as well. Once you get that feedback and look at it, you optimize what you've been doing. Continue doing what you're doing correctly and stop and change what is not working. Then after some optimization and you're like, okay, we're good to go, I can go back and test this, then you go and gather some more insight again. And you just repeat this process over and over until you find something that works and you're seeing consistency in growth. Okay, really it is at a high level as simple as that. This is all you need to focus on. Now, of course, when you go more in depth, it's important to look at the right numbers and make sure everything is accurate and clean, and you're looking at things that you can actually get insight from and not unnecessary data. Then you need to make sure that you're executing quickly on this data, and then you need to make sure you're asking the right questions. Then you need to make sure that you're, again, optimizing as quickly as possible to go back and get some more insight. Because for some people, the cycle takes very, very long, but the quicker you make the cycle, the quicker you can improve what you're doing and grow, okay? Because what we want is for your Stripe chart to look like this. Go up a bit, learn some more, get some feedback, go up a bit more, get some more feedback, and then find something that hits, boom, you hit that product market fit level, find something that really rips, find the message and the offer and everything that just aligns with your ICP and your niche, and boom, you just go straight up, okay? And in some of the best offers, you'll see the charts do this, but you're gonna get to a point, and I'm gonna tell you this straight up, you're gonna get to a point where you've maximized the amount of money that you could make out of a single transformation message, mechanism or offer, and you're gonna go to hitting a plateau and even start going down again. And what happens here is most people panic and they're like, oh, I don't know what to do, and your offer dies out, okay? But when you see this happening, again, don't panic. All you have to do is go back and redo this whole process. And you're gonna be testing some new approaches to go into the market, new way of presenting your mechanism, and you're gonna do the same thing again and again until you find something that rips and your revenue chart looks like this again, okay? So that is literally that. Finding predictable growth at a high level is literally just this process, doing it very, very well and very, very quickly. But it all starts over here with tracking what it is you're actually doing. And it boggles my mind how many people and businesses I see that are actually making good money, but they just cannot tell me why they hit the numbers that they did the previous month or week, because they don't know what they did that actually worked. So if you have this and you get this dialed down, you will be fine. I promise you.